All right, so this is the 2023 Polygon Strattos S5. Now, we want to know if Polygon can go toe-to-toe with some of the biggest brand names out there. Luckily, we sat down with a local racer who has put some serious watts and miles into this bike and is going to tell us what he loves about this bike and maybe what he doesn't love about this bike, and if this bike is fast or slow. This is Real Race Bikes, brought to you by Bespoke Endurance. This is the 2023 Polygon Strattos S5, originally released in 2020. It features an aluminum frame with a carbon fork, has Shimano 105 group set, Superteam all-carbon R25 50 wheels, and weighs approximately 18 pounds. The rider's current setup has a 165 Magene power meter. It is 5236 with an 1130 cassette, and he has a stem length of 120 mil and a bar width of 36 centimeters. Now, his saddle that he's rocking is an AliExpress special saddle, and his tires are Superteam. He's got 50 mil rim depth, and he rocks Vittoria Corsa Pros. They are 28s, and he rides 75 PSI.
I'm AJ Earlywine, and I race Cap 4 for Suples Velo here in Cincinnati. So I've had this bike for 2 to 2.5 years at this point. I've put nearly 13,000 miles on it in the meantime. Yeah.
Love it, man. Okay, what bike were you rocking before this?
So this is actually my first road bike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
love it.
Originally I had a Fixie, which is like an 80s steel
yes.
conversion, which I still use to like commute around.
Now, tell me, how did you pick this bike of all bikes?
So my thought process is I wanted to race at some point, and also I did not have a big budget. So shopping around, I think I got it from an Instagram ad.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, I think the site advertised to me, and I was like, "I'll look at what you have." And then this popped out. It was 105,
Yep.
which was the biggest thing on my checklist.
Okay.
And not expensive compared to everything else, which is the other thing I was really excited for. So that's kind of why I landed on this.
Okay, I love it. Now, let me ask you, how much did you pay for this bike?
I paid, I believe, just under $1,100 for it originally.
Okay. All right. Tell me about the upgrades you made to this bike.
So upgrades are quite extensive. I think the only two original pieces are the seat post and the rear, like the whole group set. I swapped out the wheels, which was the first thing. This is the third wheel set that's been on this bike.
Okay.
But the wheels, I think, by themselves weighed around 4 kilos. I swapped out the bars. It came with 40 centimeter bars originally.
Okay.
And a 110 mil stem. I needed a little bit more reach. My legs are not as long as the rest of my body, so having a longer reach was pretty important to stay comfortable.
Yeah.
So current bars on there, the Zip Service Course 36 centimeter bars, and then I have a 120 Uno stem on there. And then I swapped out the seat. The original seat that came with it was not comfortable.
So I know you have an AliExpress saddle. How do you like it? How does it feel?
It's surprisingly good. It's very light. I could tell the difference almost immediately weight-wise. And then I swapped out the cranks. This is the PS Magene crank set. I just wanted 165 cranks.
You love the 165? Like, that's becoming more and more common.
It came stock with 170s.
Okay.
So I do like the shorter cranks.
All right. So what do you love about this bike?
I think the biggest thing I love about it, it's very stiff and very, very small, very compact.
Yeah.
And you can really throw it into corners when you need to. And I think I've found a couple of gaps I probably shouldn't have been able to, just because it's a smaller bike, and I can really squeeze in there.
Now, where do you think this bike really shines?
It's definitely more crit-focused bike. Way I have it set up now, it's very it's more performance based. I've done road races on it, and I think it excels at road races, but it definitely shines when it comes to crit racing.
Okay. Is there any particular race day moments that this bike has stood out with? Has it been some of the cornering in these crits?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's been several crits where, like, once I've gotten ahead of the pack and been able to be the first one through a lot of corners, it's helped me be more confident in those situations.
So, have you crashed on this bike at all? Like,
Oh yeah. Plenty.
okay,
Yeah.
because this aluminum frame, I mean, it's it's going to hold up a little bit better than a carbon would. So,
Yeah. I've been hit by a car on this. I
have
think,
you really?
yeah.
Okay. Dang.
I think I've had 3 or 4 crit racing crashes. One pretty bad, the rest of them not as bad.
Now, what do you not love about this bike?
It's pretty heavy, and it's taken a lot of work to get down to be lighter. The frame is, I think, the heaviest part of the bike, and you
Yep.
can really tell when you go and you pick up a lighter bike, and then you come back and you pick up this one. It just feels like it kind of has heavier components on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that when climbing, like when you've done road racing at all? Like,
I think it's been a little bit of a factor. You can, I think, feel it a little bit when you kind of get on some steeper grades and you go to put the power down. It just takes a second, like just a little bit longer than I would like to jump back at you.
yep.
It's a little bit less responsive in those situations, but
So you obviously got rim brakes on here with carbon wheels.
yes.
Tell me about that.
Not great in the rain.
Okay.
It's dry weather. It just works, just fine, just perfect. But especially the wetter weather, as we go into like the off season, it's the winter. I have an alloy wheel set that I'm gonna put back on this thing to make sure that I can keep on riding through all the weather.
Okay.
The last week and a half, I've had to take a couple of days off because it just wouldn't stop raining. So it's like I can't go out and ride this thing.
One thing that kind of this bike is is known for with a knock is the cabling and routing.
So this bike is really meant for the Indonesian market.
Okay.
And that is a little bit more closely related to the European market, especially with how they have everything set up. In Europe, the back brake is your left hand, so it's as we know it in the U.S., it's moto braking, but it's also the way Europeans have their bike set up. So it kind of is a little bit weird with how the brakes come around, and it's kind of given me some issues with the paint.
I kind of noticed it here, and you've got a little bit here as well. So those are from the cables, kind of wearing.
Just general wear.
Yep.
Steering back and forth, just going throughout your ride, it'll just slowly wear the paint down.
Okay.
It's been a little bit annoying.
All right. So the most important question: do you think this bike is fast or slow?
I think it's somewhere in between. It's not the fastest bike, but it's definitely not slow by any means. You can compete with the S-Works with everything else.
Yep.
You'll have to do a little bit more effort to get there. But by all means, as a starter bike, as the first bike that you might own, it's pretty quick.
Hey, if you've got a bike that you think deserves a spotlight, please DM us or comment below. We would love to feature your bike in the next one.
And please be sure to like and subscribe to Bespoke Endurance.